Hey guys, welcome. We're back. Today we're going to be doing some Viktor stuff. We're going to talk about how locals are going to work for the stream. Because I do want to go to local tournaments so that I can give you guys the best local tournament rundown that I can. Thinking about getting a GoPro for recording locals so that you guys can have the full experience of locals. We live in DFW, which is Dallas Fort Worth. It's one of the largest TCG places in the world outside of like Japan and California. California is so big and split between NorCal and SoCal that it's kind of two different places. Here it's like DFW or Fort Worth has like 7 tournaments a week, and then Dallas has like 3 or 4 tournaments a week. So it's I'm sure I'll be able to find a good spread of particular days I want to do Riftbound for the physical tournament going approach. So you guys should have plenty of content for that. Yeah, I was thinking maybe not like maybe not like live stream it. I mean, I could think about live streaming it, but I think people would get a little weird by that if it's just locals. I will definitely be live streaming when I go to Houston for the regional qualifier for this game. 100% I'll be streaming that as I'm walking across. I have to buy a GoPro anyway. But yeah, that's sort of the plan. Hopefully I can get to tournaments on like Saturdays before stream so that I can do both that day, but I'm sure I'm going to have to give up a day of streaming to go to a local tournament for you guys. So I'll keep you guys posted. I'll probably choose the biggest one, and then you guys will still get a YouTube video out of it, so it's not like a total loss of productivity there for you guys, or what's it called? Total loss of content. There you go. Content was the word I was looking for. So this is a heads up on that. Today we still have games planned with Flaowr. That's still going to happen at 10 o'clock. We have 2 hours to burn until then. So hopefully if I can make Viktor fast enough, we can get into an LFG game before going into playing Flaowr. Maybe that's a possibility. We'll see. I still want to do a decent amount of I keep wanting to say market research for my investor background, but specifically we should be doing tournament research. Although Piltover Archive has sort of cleaned out a bunch of the older tournaments, or the ones from that are not like official. So I need to figure out what's going on with that. It's odd. Anyway, yeah, so there's that. There is a talk about who sort of Flaowr is and why I trust them to be like my my partner is kind of weird, but partner in this journey to get better, be the best at this game. Flaowr. So there was a game a couple of years ago called Shadowverse Evolve, and while we weren't the best at it, we were pretty good. We had an understanding of the meta. We would go to big tournaments and get either first or second place. We did really, really well in this game. Unfortunately, the game doesn't really have a following. Like, it does have a following, but like not enough to support like actually putting in that much time. Oh, I just realized I'm in the BRB because hopefully you can still hear me, but I'm in the BRB because I need to add alerts. Full screen me. Okay, sorry. Hopefully you could still hear me while I was there. It looks like you could. Yeah. Yeah, so we got really good at that game, and then it just turned out to be a giant waste of time. So this time we're actually going to get really good. Yeah, you could. Thank you for the feedback on that one. This time we're going to actually use the skills that we learned from becoming basically the best at Shadowverse and applying it to this new game and actually getting rewarded for our time spent. So that's sort of what I'm hoping to accomplish here. He's a very smart person, knows how to ask a bunch of questions, so if you guys could have some patience on that. Anyway, without further ado, let's look at Viktor. Building, there we go. So I've pulled out 5 of the strongest Viktor decks. They have certain different placings from what I saw when I was looking through the Viktor decks and going through events. This one doesn't necessarily have placements. Yeah, I'm live. Hey. Talking about Riftbound. Yep. Yep. Yeah, so anyway, this one, the first one we're going to be looking at, or rather, events. When you look at events, this used to be full of just deck after deck after deck. There were tons of unofficials, which are now gone. And then I sort of sifted through all the others for Viktor winners. Theoretically, I could go in here and click one of these, and I'm sure I could find some more Viktor lists, but in this case, I just didn't want to. I'd rather get the winners, and since we have enough of that to go off of. But I was expecting a lot more. I think Piltover Archive is doing some weird stuff with their tournament stuff. Or maybe they were getting, like, I don't know, copyright struck or something, but don't know. Anyway, let's look at some Viktor lists. This one doesn't have any placings. This is Monarch Viktor by 50K Comics. 50K Comics, really good YouTube video, or YouTube creator for this game. Has a bunch of in-depth analysis just like I do if you want to go check him out. I don't necessarily agree with some of his views on certain card or deck choices, but that's where we get these. That's why we're able to thrive as a community, because we can have differences in opinion and be able to communicate those effectively, so that we can either see each other's side or bring the other one to one side. And the best way to convince someone that your list is better is by winning with it. So. Let's just take a look at this. I'm not saying I haven't seen the list yet. Obviously, I haven't seen it, but there might be some questionable stuff, and that's obviously not a personal attack on him if I disagree with anything. Just my opinion on how the deck should be run or shouldn't be run or whatever. So let's talk about Viktor. Viktor's Legend ability. Pay 1, tap it, play a recruit token, a 1 might recruit token. So Viktor sort of thrives on having a bunch of small tokens in the early game and controlling the battlefield early, and then making it to where in the mid game you're just constantly threatening checkmate situations until you eventually find one and conquer the last battlefield for victory. That's the game plan. If you don't get super ahead in the early game, your mid game is a little good with cards like Hidden Blade and other removal cards if you choose to play them. Late game Viktor probably gets stomped by everything else in the meta except for maybe Kaisa. So the good news about Viktor though is that he gets to the late game a lot quicker because he's pushing the early a lot faster with the tokens. His mid-game is kind of oppressive because the early minions that he puts down that aren't tokens sort of turn into more tokens for the mid-game, so every time you kill something, you're not actually killing it as the opponent. Which is a pretty good game plan, especially when you have a bunch of buffing cards. Anyway, his colors are blue-yellow, and let's see sort of the rune choices. He chose 7 and 5. We won't look at battlefields right now, we can come back once we understand the deck. Chosen champ of choice is Viktor Leader. This makes sense. Whenever a non-recruit unit you control dies, play a 1 might recruit unit token at your base. This basically means all of your chump blockers become more chump blockers. It's It's kind of oppressive in the mid game, especially if you choose to run more than just this one chosen champion Victor, which I think is something we'll be doing. But based on our evidence from these tournament analyses, we'll see if that's the correct thing to do or not. When I was building Victor raw without looking at anything, I was like, this card is cracked. Why would I play any less? I will always play it on turn 2. Shuffling one back isn't enough for the actual benefit that it's going to be doing. And this coming out on turn 2 after turn 1 bird or turn 1 guy that draws a card when he dies is just pretty devastating. And if you can play one from your hand or your chosen champion and then one from your hand later, then the tokens just become multiplicative, because when one of your chump blockers dies, each of these spawns another one. This also catches a lot of your opponent's mid-game and late-game removal pieces. That's the guy from Arcane. Yes, it is. He's also meta in this, yeah. Yeah, exactly, yeah. So this guy sort of catches a lot of your opponent's heat when it comes to their removal spells. A lot of people are going to try to snipe this guy from your back line so that he's not just constantly generating tokens by himself. So you need to prepare for it and not necessarily play around it, which is probably why I understand the one. But I would love to be able to play this guy. My opponent pays 5, recycles 2 for a Snapvine, kills my Victor, and then the next turn I play a Victor plus another threat. That just seems backbreaking to me. But we'll see how that goes in our analysis here coming up. But yeah, 1 Victor leader, very strong card. 3 Stupefy. Okay. So Stupefy is probably just to get through the deck. Likely you're not going to be targeting your own stuff, you're going to be targeting other stuff. Maybe they think they can kill a bunch of tokens, but this saves one of your tokens perhaps. I don't think we're actually playing it for the -1, but let's go ahead and read it since we haven't read it today. It's at reaction speed, 1 mana, 0 power cost. Give a unit -1 this turn to a minimum of 1, so you can't go below 1, you can't go to 0, and then draw a card. So it's just 1 mana, cycle this card, and then -1 to something at reaction speed. Still a solid card. 1 mana Upstart Goblin is nothing to sniff at. Very strong to get through to your late game bombs, which he has a few here. This is actually a mid game bomb, but we'll talk about that later. Retreat, the 1 retreat to, I guess, hopefully catch the Victor leader in the event that you just get lucky. It doesn't look like he's playing. I think Zonia's is a green, or Zonia's might be a green card, so he can't even play it. So the 1 retreat's kind of odd. I don't necessarily agree with that ratio. Maybe he was just trying to fit in. No, because he has a 2 here, a 2 here. Yeah, if I were playing retreat, I'd probably just cut retreat and play a 2nd Victor and then find space for a 3rd Victor, if I'm being honest. And once again, this is from a content creator. This isn't actually a tournament placing list. So this could be just to be like a cool list or just to show the options of the deck. I didn't see any videos, but just a heads up on that. If we see some weird stuff, it might just be for content. 3 Ravenbloom Student. This card yesterday in testing when I was playing Ari was actually extremely powerful when coupled with things like Stupefy, because all of a sudden now Stupefy is a -2 because it's -1 for here and then +1 here. And then when you compound that with retreating your Victor, then now it's a +2 here, making it a 4 might for 2 mana that you don't have to pay any power for. It's actually incredible. This card is fantastic. Way stronger than it read, and I already thought it was powerful when reading it. We have a Convergent Mutation, which I haven't seen in any list for any deck. But we'll see. Let's see. At reaction speed, choose a friendly unit. This turn increases might to the might of another friendly unit. Is he playing Hook, would be the question here. He is not playing Hook, so I'm also confused by this choice. Maybe his goal is to, in the early, drop a Cruel Patron, and then make one of his tokens a copy of Cruel Patron, making it 6. So you have 2 might basically buff for 6. That's reasonable, but the shuffle back cost is kind of weird, and you won't really get to late game with 2 of these in your deck. If that's what you're going for in the mid. This one, I just haven't seen a proper use case for this card. I just don't think it's strong enough. If it were just 2 mana, I could see it actually being playable. I wouldn't even think it was super powerful, but the fact that it has a power cost assigned to it and you have to recycle blue, not a super fan of the card in general. Definitely not playing 2 copies of it. And if it's just for that play, then that seems pretty situational for a deck that really wants to control the early. I feel like you're going to have too many mid-late game cards in your hand to facilitate that win condition of getting ahead in the early game and threatening checkmates in the mid to late, but we'll see. 3 Hidden Blade, this is standard, very strong card. You can pay 2 and a power. Let's look it up. 2 and a power, kill something. Add a battlefield, its controller draws 2 cards. The only time the drawing 2 matters is if the game is going to go long enough to where they can play those 2 cards specifically. And as I mentioned, if you're playing Viktor correctly, that's not going to happen. You're going to be so far ahead in the early game that it doesn't matter how many cards your opponent draws. They simply will not have enough mana to play those cards that they just drew. You can also hide it. You can recycle one of your runes back to the bottom of the rune deck and play it for 0 out of battlefield, which limits you to only killing something at specifically that battlefield. You'd only be able to target it there. So you lose some of your, do I want to kill it on this battlefield, this battlefield options, but you gain the fact that you didn't have to pay the 2 mana. You're still shuffling the 1 back, or you're still recycling the 1, but overall, very strong card. It also helps you clean up the late game when they're putting a bunch of big bodies down. Allows you to get rid of one of those big bodies and move your guys in to finish that, though, with that final blow. I know it sounds like I'm saying Viktor struggles in the late game, but he really doesn't. It's just the reason he doesn't is because he has these tools. Oh, yeah, I'll time you out. You probably still have a ton of points from the other channel. Time you out. There you go. You're gone. See you in a few minutes. Thanks for the redeem. Yeah, it could. Are there physical decks for this game? So this game comes out 10/31. So in 5 days. On Halloween. We've known about the cards for about 4 or 5 months now. And everyone's been playing on Tabletop Simulator. So anyway, back to this. Hidden Blade, very strong card. Smokescreen, once again, this helps the mid to late game. This allows you to bring down one of the big guys, though once again, I wouldn't play so many things that have a power cost to them associated with them, especially in the mid to early. Like, I know this isn't actually a mid to early, even though it's a 2 mana card. This is more for like the mid to late or somewhere in that bracket. But if you're playing mid-game cards, or these cards specifically designed for the mid-game, like Hidden Blade, Smokescreen, this is clearly designed for the mid-game after you stuck a Cruel Patron or a Riptide Rex or a Ledros. You really, really run the risk of getting to your late game so late that Grand Stratagem just never comes online. And I know it's 6 mana, shuffle 3 back, and you should be winning by that time. And I say shuffle 3 back, recycle 3. And you should be winning by that time, but sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes you really have to double Hidden Blade, double Smokescreen, and then you're just way, way behind. And removing that option from yourself and replacing this with something like another small body, though he is maxed out on small bodies, looks like, or maybe a medium-sized body or something, maybe a body in general, or a different cantrip, and we'll look at it when we're looking at deck building to see if there's an actual slot that we can use instead of Smokescreen that doesn't have a power cost assigned to it. But I'm really worried about getting to the late game with Viktor, especially since your chosen champ that, in my opinion, you'd want to be playing multiple times, especially if you're playing Retreat, will just keep you on the late mid-game over and over again. Really worried about getting to the late game. Soaring Scout, very strong card. 2 mana, no power cost. 1 might, but we're okay with that. This whole deck is all about 1 might. We're totally fine with 1 might. When it dies, channel 1 rune exhausted, so you're just going to ramp, giving you essentially 3 mana for the next turn, putting you at assuming you just play it on 2 and you crash it into something, you'll be at 5 for the next turn. It's pretty strong. I don't know what you would do with that, but anyway, super strong, small body. This is sort of what the deck relies on. The small bodies, low mana cost, so that when this dies, your chosen champ Viktor gets another token, and this guy just chills at base, spawning tokens from these guys, the Raven Blooms, the Scoring Scouts, the Watchful Sentries. It's just how the deck works. Good card. Call the week. Talking about small bodies, each player kills one of their units, so this is a very, very strong early game to keep your opponent crippled and struggling to get into that transition from the early to mid game. Very, very strong card. You have your small bodies that you played on turn 2, your opponent goes second, they play something big like a blue Ari or a Kiana or something along those lines, and you're just like, call the week, play another small body. And then from there, they're so far behind and it's so difficult for them to get back into the mid game. It kind of sucks that you obviously don't get to choose what you're killing on their side. But when they only have one, because you catch them early with their pants down, and they just have the one minion that you want to kill because they're like, okay, well, I need to get something on the board. This just cripples them outright and makes them really struggle to get back into the mid game. You gain so much tempo off of this card. 2 copies of it seems odd, considering we want to see it really early and never want to see it late. Unless, in specific circumstances where we've killed off their board and then they only have one thing, but Watchful Sentry, another one of these 2 mana, 1 body guys, or 1 might guys. Death Knell, draw a card. So when he dies, you draw a card. So he replaces himself. This is what allows you to maintain that card advantage going to the mid and late. This along with a few other cards. Something I didn't mention about Hidden Blade is that you can kill your own thing, which is a very common use case. So if you don't want to pay the 2 mana, you can hide it somewhere, put a token there because you're going to have early presence on the battlefield. And then when they move in to kill your token for free, essentially, you can Hidden Blade your own guy, draw 2 cards, and you're basically set up card advantage-wise for the mid-game there if you don't just outright have to win that victory, or if you can't just kill the one thing and guarantee a hold point there. Because if you could guarantee a hold point, it's obviously probably better, especially if it's in the early game, that you get that point, let them draw 2 cards, and then just hope that they don't get the answers for you. And those 2 cards when they start pivoting into the mid. But this is also a draw card that lets you replace your resources coming into the mid-late game. So this card and this card really get you going. Make sure you don't run out of cards in your hand by playing all of these small bodies. And naturally, Viktor, Chosen Champ, is there for that as well. Because he spawns bodies without you having to play them out of your hand. It's very powerful. Moving on, when you play me, play a 1 might recruit unit token. So she spawns a token herself, so she's a 3 mana 3/3 essentially that you can use for Cold a Week, you can use for Hidden Blade, you can use for the Contagion, what was it called? Convergent Mutation. And then when that token dies, you don't get another one, but when she dies, you get another token. So it's another token on top of the 2 tokens. And as you can see, it slowly starts to get out of control in the mid-game, token-wise. What I've seen a lot of Viktor players do, unsuccessfully of course, is get a ton of tokens in the mid-game and start just throwing them at battlefields all together all at once. And if you do that, you lose your whole army and you don't have anything to threaten lethal in the mid to late. So just be careful of that. This card is very powerful, but you don't necessarily want to throw it onto a battlefield if you don't have to. 3 copies of that makes sense. Cruel Patron. Now we're starting to get into the mid-game cards, if the previous card was not already considered a mid-game card. This card really solidifies your mid-game control presence. This card is what allows you to maintain control of something that one of your tokens just took. So your token takes the battlefield, you get the point, and then you immediately summon Cruel Patron on there, kill the token that just took control of that battlefield, and now you have a 6 might guy just chilling there that you didn't have to move. That was there pretty much instantly. In that case, you sort of use your tokens as like a teleporter to get this guy onto a battlefield that you want him to get onto. Pretty solid card. I wouldn't say it's necessarily incredibly strong or anything like that. But keep in mind that when he does kill a friendly unit, that triggers your Chosen Champ Victor. So if you have Chosen Champ Victor that you haven't used yet, and a Cruel Patron in your hand, the goal would be to summon this first, obviously, and then Cruel Patron, just get the guy that you just killed back, especially if it's one of this or this. Trigger these abilities and spawn a token so you didn't actually lose anything from Cruel Patron. Solid card, has a lot of synergy with this deck. Very solid mid-game card. Sprite Mother, we talked about this when we were talking about Ari, but just a solid mid-game card that allows you to get quick tempo moving into a battlefield that's unoccupied or that's been previously traded on. When you play me, you may play a ready 3 Might Sprite unit token with Temporary here. Kill it at the start of the controller's beginning phase. So, for 4 mana and a power, you play this 3 Might body, and then you immediately get a 3 Might body that's ready to go attack something. So if you've already traded into a board and they have maybe one body that's small enough, you could then immediately trade the Sprite into there and then move one of your tokens to regain that battlefield. Very strong card. Always a fan of Sprite Mother. I would consider it an A or S tier card. Very powerful, especially in the mid game. Late game, it sort of falls off because it's really difficult to make use of that 3 Might. But keep in mind that when it dies, it triggers your Chosen Champion Victor. I hope we're starting to see a pattern here. Yeah. Okay, Grand Stratagem. This is how you win the game. This is your late game. We're now into late game cards. Give friendly units +5 Might this turn. So not only are you going to be using this aggressively to take both battlefields once you have an army of tokens at your base, thanks to Viktor, thanks to all the other things that produce tokens, but you can also use this at action speed to defend a battlefield and hold for the final point. So when I was talking about this deck, all it wants to do is set up for checkmates in the mid to late. Well, this is one of those cards. You can get to, if you build your deck a little different than this one, you can get to the mid to late game a lot earlier than your opponent. And then because you have these small bodies and constant removal for the opponent's big bodies or medium-sized bodies, you very quickly get to 5, 6, 7 points, and then you have these game-breaking cards to finish out the battle. So, very, very strong card. The fact that it's an action is kind of criminal. It should not be as versatile as it is for you to get this win, but it is. It is expensive, so you should be winning after playing it. Like shoveling 3 back, or rather recycling 3 is not cheap by any means. Very, very expensive card. But if you're winning, it doesn't matter how much you paid. He's also opting for 2 Riptide Rex. I've seen the other card in this slot be Singularity, and I think I prefer Singularity over Riptide Rex. Sure, you get the 6 Might body with this, but Singularity allows you to ping 2 things or 1 thing twice for 12. I don't think we need a slow 6 mana body by the time he gets to the late game. And if we did need more help in the late game, we would up the count of Grand Stratagem. Right? So I don't really agree with this, but I understand it. Because it also does damage to a battlefield, so theoretically if you had some bodies at base, you could Riptide Rex, damage something there, and then move some tokens to that battlefield, finish it off, move the final token to take control of that battlefield. That makes sense as well, but you could do the same thing with Singularity and not have this 6 body just sort of chilling in your base. It's never going to do anything in the late, especially as Viktor. Not to mention, since we are playing Hidden Blade, we don't really want to be getting to the late game as Viktor. So the fact that we're playing a slow body in the late game just is a little questionable in my opinion, but that's okay. Commander Ledros. 6 mana, 4 power, which seems like a lot, but hear me out. As you play me, you may kill any number of friendly units as an additional cost. Reduce my power cost for each one killed this way. Then it has Deflect 1 and Ganking, meaning it can move from battlefield to battlefield. Commander Ledros is cool. It's definitely a very cool card, but it's not actually competitively viable in my opinion. I don't think it's as strong as Grand Stratagem. I don't think it's as strong as Watcher. I don't think it's as strong as Singularity. I don't think we need a 6 mana, kill a bunch of my own dudes, 8 might body. I don't think that's necessary. They will gladly pay the 1 deflect to get rid of this guy, so you have to kill more of your army just to summon him again. I especially don't agree with 2. I'm just not a fan of this card. It doesn't actually win you the game. It doesn't do anything except for try to play the game fairly, which is something that Viktor does not want to do. Moving on. Thousand-Tailed Watcher. We know this card. We love this card. It's a very strong card, very solid. Allows you to get that last point most of the time when necessary. Has Accelerate. Comes out as a fast threat very quickly. Just solid, super strong card. Yeah, that not much I can say more about that. It is an in-game bomb. It's what these cards want to be. It's your 5th and 6th copy of Grand Stratagem, or at least it should be. Very powerful card. Looking at the sideboard, 3 Salvage, because why wouldn't you play 3 Salvage with all the Aurora decks running around? Salvage is the best answer to Aurora. And this is what I was talking about yesterday with Ari. 2 mana, 1 power. You may kill a gear, draw a card. Very, very strong effect on this card. 2 mana to get rid of their 9 mana play it. They shuffle 2 back 4. Just super strong. Falling Comet. Don't know why this is here and not copies of Singularity. Don't know what he'd be trying to kill at 6 for 5 in the mid game when you're trying to drop your Victors and your other stuff. I don't necessarily agree with that. Maybe he hasn't played in very many tournaments, so he's just like, maybe I need generic removal for some stuff. Or for the mirror, no, it's at the battlefield. I was thinking he could use this to snipe one of the Victors, like an enemy Victor in the mirror at the base, but it's at a battlefield, so it's a little confusing on that one. 3rd Grand Stratagem, I believe this should be in the main deck. Is probably almost always citing these 2 out. And then Harnessed Dragon, I thought about this. 8 mana, 2 power, 6 might. When you play me, kill an enemy unit anywhere, but it's 8 mana, and by the time you get to the late game, you should already be winning. Otherwise, you probably haven't played the mid to early good well, in my opinion, or maybe your deck's just not built to do that. Once again, Victor's not necessarily an aggro deck. It's what we'd call a tempo deck. But if you're getting to the late game with a tempo deck, you're probably not doing very well because tempo has subsided by then. You're sort of playing at the same tempo as your opponent by the time you get to the late game. Whereas a tempo deck should be playing at a faster tempo than the opponent in the early. So overall, not a super fan of this list. I did preface it by saying, this is not a winning list. And we'll be able to see some of the differences. I hope I'm not just totally wrong on all this stuff. We'll be able to see some of the differences looking at the other lists. So let's do that. Next list, this is first place Ascension League. I can't remember how many players this had, but probably 40 or so. He is playing the same leader, it's just a different art. He's playing 3 Seal, which is the correct number if you're going to be playing Seal. So he wants to play super powerful cards, but also wants to get to the late game at relatively the same time as the opponent. I like what I'm seeing so far because there's already thought behind this selection specifically. He's also saying that he doesn't care about his card advantage because he's okay. He's willing to throw away some advantage to be able to keep his mana advantage instead. Additionally, you don't really lose anything minus 1 card when playing this card, so the fact that he's playing 3 is good. Give me some background music. People get in trouble with copyright strikes in background music. Yeah. So, Stupefy. At reaction speed, we've already talked about Stupefy. We're playing 2 of it instead of 3. That's fine. I understand. Going 1 for 1 here And not notice he has another early game deck. Oh, this is a Hook Victor deck. Very interesting. We'll talk about that when we get there. But 2 Stupefy is totally fine. You're not really trying to get to the super late game bombs that you're looking for. 2, 2, 2. This is technically a late game bomb because you're hoping that it'll die, but we'll talk about Hook later. 3 Hidden Blade. We've already talked about Hidden Blade. 2 Daring Poro. 2 mana, 2 might. Gain +1 while an attacker. This allows you to secure the early game. If they play a 2 mana, 2 might guy, and you play Daring Poro first, you have that advantage going into taking control of that battlefield. Pretty strong stuff. Cold a Week, we've already talked about. Trifarian Glory Seeker, there's a new one. Legion, so if you've played another card this turn, when you play me, buff me. So she just gets stronger. She's a 2 mana, 3 might if you've legioned her. And it's important that they become 3 might because they're 2 mana. So this assault also because we're talking about Hook here. We've already talked about Faithful Manufacturer, so let's read Hook. So Baited Hook is where Darius Hook aggro comes from. It's actually the stronger, in my opinion, version of this deck. It does everything that this deck wants to do, but faster and lower to the ground. Has very decent mid-game with the Dravens that they play, or they also have bigger threats coming from red that Viktor just simply doesn't have access to, but we'll talk about Hook here. So 1 mana and a power, tap this, kill a friendly unit. Look at the top 5 cards of your main deck. You may banish a unit from among them that has might 1 up to 1 more than the killed unit and play it, ignoring its cost, and recycle the rest. Excuse me. So this allows you to play the Daring Poro for 2, kill it, play something else, play this, kill it, summon this from your deck, or this, kill this, summon this from your deck, summon whatever you just killed back, kill this, summon this from your deck. Yeah, you do it once a turn, every turn, which is why we're playing these seals, because it does cost a power to do so. So since you're doing this every turn, you'd be basically half ramping every single turn, and this player clearly wants to avoid that. So the 3 seal makes a ton of sense. I might actually build a Hook Victor and a non-Hook Victor later, but we'll see. But yeah, that's how Hook works. Very strong card, 3 mana. It doesn't get blown out by cards like Salvage, like other gears do, because it's only 3 mana. So Salvage went about even. It went fully even in card advantage, and you paid 1 and a power to kill this Baited Hook. But since this is such an early game deck, if your opponent is wasting 2 mana and a power to get rid of this Baited Hook, they're probably still losing the early game or don't have enough tempo in the mid. So still a very strong card, even if your opponent chooses to get rid of it. It also, you also have a gear here that they could also target. Just food for thought there. Back to back, give 2 friendly units +2 this turn. This is a battle trick. It's at reaction speed. 3 mana, don't shuffle anything back. Notice there's a pattern there. We want to get to the late game as fast as we can. Giving 2 tokens 2 makes it effectively 6 on a board that your opponent was only expecting 2 from. If that makes sense, you have 1/1, which is 2, and then you buff 2 of them twice by 2, making it 3 each. So now it's 6 that your opponent's fighting instead of the 2 that they were expecting with the 2 tokens. And it's at reaction speed, so it's terrifying. Additionally, since it's at reaction speed, let me just make sure I'm reading this right. You may banish this. Then the killed unit and play it. Yeah. So if I'm reading this right, I'll have to check the FAQ on this. But I think that if you buff something and you kill it with Baited Hook will be able to go 1 above. But I'm not quite sure on that. Not totally sure. But it's possible. It's possible. I remember reading something in the FAQs about when Baited Hook reads stuff in the grave. If it reads it in the grave or if it reads it when it dies. I can't remember which one it was, though. Apologies. Vanguard Captain. Not sure if we saw this one, but Legion, when you play me, aka get this effect if you play another card this turn. When you play me, play 2 recruit tokens here. Very solid card, gets your tokens going. Just solid, just all around solid card. Though I think, thinking about it, I feel like if you kill a token with this card, you get to summon one of the Poros or a Trifarian Glory Seeker, but I'm not. Sorry, that's bugging me. Not quite sure. Spectral Matron. This is the reason Baited Hook is so good. It says, when you play me, you may play a unit costing no more than 3. It's supposed to be a 3. And no more than 1 from your trash, ignoring its cost. So the idea is that you kill a 3, you summon this because it's 1 might more than a 3, and you play it for free because Baited Hook ignores all costs, not just mana costs and you still have to pay the power. It negates all costs, meaning you play this for 4 from your deck, and then you immediately summon the 3 that you just killed back with Spectral Matron, totally ignoring its cost once again. So you get a huge swing in board control with Baited Hook if you reveal a Spectral Matron off the top with it. Very strong combo of these 2 cards. This is your mid game. Sprite Mother we already talked about. This is a new card that we haven't talked about yet. Machine Evangel. When it dies, play 3 in your base. Play 3 recruit 1 mana. Sorry. 1 might recruit unit tokens at your base. This gets your army going pretty fast. It's a decently sized body that they really don't want to kill, but when they do, you have bodies for days for your Baited Hook. So also fuel for Grand Stratagem. These combo pretty well. 2 Grand Stratagem, 2 Thousand-Tailed Watcher. It has the same in-game plan as the other Viktor decks, so we're fine there. Okay, and then standard 3 Salvage, 2 Vengeance. You can kill something that's super annoying like a Volibear or something like that. The 3rd Grand Stratagem for something that you really need the extra oomph in the late game for. And then 2 Commander Ledros. Not quite sure why we're citing that instead of maining it if we were going to play it, or why it's in our deck at all. It's the same might. Up to 1 or more might, then they killed the unit. Yeah. So I don't know why we're playing Commander Ledros here. Maybe he just ran out of stuff to put in. Clearly, though, there are things that we can play instead of the Smokescreen that the other deck was playing. Let's look at this next one. So this one's just named this Viktor, but I pulled it from the tournament results of one of the other tournaments. So it's actually like a tournament winning list, or yeah, tournament winning list. It just, for some reason, it doesn't have the actual placement here. And that can sort of be denoted by this, but anyway. Let's so 2 retreat for the 1 Viktor. That makes a little more sense. You probably don't want to see 3. You probably don't want to see this in your early game. That's fine. 3 Hidden Blade. We already talked about 3 Stupefy to get to the late game faster. That's also fine. Daring Poro. Is he not playing Watcher? He's not. Interesting. Anyway, 3 Daring Poro, 3 Soaring Scout, 2 very good cards. We already talked about them. Cold a Week, very strong. Lecturing Yordle. I guess he's opting to draw it immediately instead of draw it when it dies. Or maybe he's opting for a 2 body. Is he playing Hook? He's not. Anyway, nothing wrong with it. Choosing Yordle over the Watchful guy, Century maybe I think is his name. It's fine. You draw it now instead of later. When it dies, it still spawns a token with your champion, Chosen Champ Viktor. So nothing wrong with this here. Faithful Manufacturer, we already talked about. Cruel Patron, very strong in the mid. I'm okay with 2. You're probably mulligan into it, likely. You don't ever want to see 2 in your hand, though, which makes sense as to why he's playing not a maxed out count of it. Sprite Mother, we talked about, very good. Notice the only cards that shuffle back are Chosen Champ Viktor, or rather recycle, or with power costs, have Chosen Champ Viktor, Hidden Blade, which isn't actually an early game card, Cold a Week, which is an early game card, but it wins you the early game essentially, and Evangel. Everything else, well, and Sprite Mother. Just gonna ban this guy. Okay. Anyway, yeah, mostly just understand that we're really trying to get to the late game early. We can do so by getting more points than the opponent in the early, and then forcing these checkmates that I was talking about. This is one of those cards that does that. He's also opting for 2 Riptide Rex and 3 Singularity. That's a bit crazy. 1 Dragon, 3 Fox makes sense. No Grand Stratagem? No Grand Stratagem. So that makes sense why his late game looks a little different than everyone else's. No Grand Stratagem at all in the list. That's very interesting. Then I would question this. I would question why you need tokens at all if you're not playing the thing that buffs tokens. Yeah, you're not playing any of that. So when we build Lux, you'll see that there's like this, there is this concept where you can have a bunch of weenies and just play a bunch of really big removal spells like Singularity and Riptide Rex to literally kill the battlefield by yourself and then move the little guys in versus trying to fight with the little guys. Maybe that's the concept he's employing here. Or maybe he's just so sure that he's going to have 5 or 6 points by the mid game, so that the late game bombs actually win the game by themselves. Singularity getting rid of things, getting 2 points there for 8. But that's really risky if anything doesn't go to plan in the early. That's probably why he has the insurance here, actually thinking about it. But maybe I don't know. Yeah, that's an odd choice. I think Grand Stratagem should be in every deck. I would replace it for this if it were me. Or maybe he's trying to win the late game over and over again with Singularity after Singularity after Riptide Rex after Fox. But that really messes up. If you have a high curve like this, or a heavy curve in the end game, it makes it really awkward to try to pull your early and mid game pieces from the deck when you're drawing cards with cards like Stupefy, right? So a bit odd, but this guy's a winner, so it's kind of hard to fight against that. 3 Salvage, Standard, 1 Shen to hold for the final victory point. That is really cute, especially when you know you're going second. Very funny card. Let's read it up. Reaction speed, you can summon this guy. He has Shield 2 while he's a defender, so it's 3 mana, 1 power for basically 5 might of just raw power. He's a tank, so you have to deal damage to him first. He's basically a combat trick. Your opponent's like, haha, I can kill all these tokens. And Shen just comes out, defends them, and kills the threat without you losing any tokens. Very, very funny to catch your opponent off guard with it. I totally understand the 1 copy on the side. I think that's very funny. Imperial Decree is another way to go about the Grand Stratagem victory loop. If you have a bunch of tokens, let's just read it real quick. At action speed, when any unit takes damage this turn, kill it. So the idea is that your opponent has 4 monsters and you have 6 tokens in your battlefield, and they have 2 and 2. You would send 2 this way, activate Imperial Decree during the showdown, kill those 2 guys and move the last 2 in for victory points. It's 1 mana cheaper, 1 power cheaper than Grand Stratagem, but sort of the same win con. You just need a lot of little dudes to get it off. I like that idea. And I think that's the end of the sentence. I think this and Grand Stratagem have trade-offs with each other. I don't necessarily think one is better or worse than the other one. This one's obviously cheaper by a lot, but I think this one takes a little bit more setup, or for you to just never use the tokens that you're spawning off of this or your chosen champ. So, a little weird. Unchecked power for the basic final push for the Aurora players that like to put all the big bodies on 2 different ones. It also does not target, which is important, so it's a good answer to 12 mana Volibear when Aurora players, especially Yi, play the 12 mana Volibear off of Aurora. That is terrifying and super annoying to deal with, so unchecked power is a 1-up. Hopefully you draw it, is good. And then Harness Dragon, there's another one of these. I just think that's really expensive. It's in the deck for the same reason Riptide Rex, but 2 mana more, and it kills anything instead of killing anything with 6 or less. But in the side deck, I feel like there are better side deck cards, especially as a one-of if you already have one in the main. I just can't think of a matchup where you'd want to see more of this over just like a Grand Stratagem or something. Like you already have enough kill spells in Riptide Rex Singularity. I don't really. Is this guy also the one playing Vengeance? No. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really agree with this card. I think it's a little too expensive for what it does. But overall, solid list. I'm a fan. Big fan. Dreaming Tree to make use of the Stupefy and the Retreat and the Hidden Blade. We haven't read Battlefield yet, but the first time you choose a friendly unit with a spell here, draw a card. So it makes Stupefy draw 2, makes Retreat draw 1, makes Hidden Blade draw 3. Pretty good stuff. Next list. Oh, this one's interesting. We don't have a side deck either. Okay, I am gonna go grab some water real quick. We'll finish off these two lists and start building the deck, okay? So I'll be right back. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. No one redeemed it, but we have Max here. He's a ferret. He's one of them. Ew. He's sniffing the mic. He's our boy. He's a big boy. Long rat. Yeah, that's what they are. Gonna go put him back now. I'll be right back. Okay. Drink some water. All right, let's get it. So we have mono yellow Viktor here. For this one, let me go back to the correct view. Mono yellow Viktor. This is also a tournament winning list. Don't know which one. Oh, there's a YouTube video. Oh, it's in Spanish. We have obviously yellow chosen champion leader, 3 hidden blade, 3 daring pro. This is the first time we've seen this card. This is Viktor's signature spell. This is, at reaction speed, choose a battlefield, give friendly units their +1, and give enemy units their -1 to a minimum of 1 this turn. So it's a buff spell for all your dudes, and a minus spell for their dudes at reaction speed for only 2 mana. Very strong card. I'm surprised we haven't seen it more, but I understand that it's statted as an early game card, but it's actually a mid to late. And for our mid to late cards, we want bigger bombs, even though this is only 2 mana. We're not really trying to vie for power in the mid game. Also, it kind of gets hurt pretty hard if you decide to commit to a siphon power play and it just gets defied and you just move 5 guys into a battlefield that they're going to die on. So I can understand why we haven't seen it played, considering it plays like a mid to late game card, even though it's statted early. But it's cool that we're seeing it in a mono yellow Viktor deck here. 3 Soaring Scout, 3 Call of the Week. We've already talked about this. Watchful Sentry. Yeah, very strong card. He's playing both, playing Watchful Sentry and Yordle. Noxian Drummer. This is a new card. When I move to a battlefield, play a recruit token here. 3 mana, no power cost to play that. Very strong. Lecturing Yordle, no power cost. On play, draw a card. Very strong. We've talked about Fateful Manufacturer. At 2 copies, when you play me, play another unit. Very strong. Vanguard Captain, Cruel Patron. So this guy's really playing for the mid game, really trying to get his heels in the mid game, and then winning a Grand Stratagem. 1 of 2 copies. He's ramping through his deck. No Stupefy, which is reasonable with the extra draw power from the Yordle and the Watchful Sentry. I think that's reasonable. And then 3 Harness Dragon. Since he's on mono yellow, maybe this is a little easier for you to justify, but like I said, I just think 3 Grand Stratagem would probably be better here. I like the fact that he's only playing 2 of this for the mid game. You just summon it, crash it into something, and then Grand Stratagem the rest of the stuff. Though they do come in exhausted, so maybe Grand Stratagem the next turn after this dies. Yeah, perhaps. There is a battlefield that we haven't seen. Units cannot move from here to base, meaning you cannot retreat after you've basically held for a point, which is the common strategy that people do. Trifarian War Camp we've already seen. Units here are +1, including attackers, but this buffs to your guys hopefully more than their guys. This just means that you have to commit a lot of stuff to a battlefield, which means that your siphon power is more of like a hold play versus an actual aggressive play, which is interesting. No, I didn't see that they were rebranding. Is that real? Are they actually doing it? And then Obelisk of Power, very weird. At the start of each player's first beginning phase, that player channels one rune. Not quite sure why we'd be playing this, except for to get to our grand stratagem a little earlier than what we normally would. But, yeah, I mean, solid list. I haven't seen a play on Mono Yellow Viktor in a while. Basically, excuse me. Basically, since the beginning of the reveals for the game, I haven't seen any mono yellow Viktors, but this looks pretty good. I would run this. I think this has a lot of early game bodies, a lot of mid game threats, and then just blow out bombs in the late game. Exactly how Viktor wants to be playing. It sticks to the status quo of the Viktor decks. I think it's pretty good. Solid. Another mono yellow for our last deck. Very cool. Raven Bloom is the new addition that we saw in some of the earlier lists, but not here. Hey, Flaowr. When you play a spell, give me +1 this turn. Just solid. If you're playing multiple cards like Siphon Power, which we've already talked about earlier, or Falling Comet in the main, interesting. Then, it makes sense. Hidden Blade, we've talked about Watchful Sentry, Soaring Scout, Cold a Week. Noxious Drummer, we've talked about the Noxian. I keep saying Noxious. Noxian Drummer. We've talked about just solid card all around. Will always spawn a token. There's nothing that can react to move tokens or move actions except for reactions, and most of them don't negate things. 3 Faithful Manufacturer, 3 Vanguard Captain, 3 Cruel Patron. Just very solid cards. 2 Consult the Past to keep up with the card tempo in the mid to late. 3 Grand Stratagem. This is what we're looking for. Big fan of this. He opted to not play the Machine Evangel in place of the Falling Comets, so that well, I'm not quite sure why, honestly. Maybe because he doesn't have access to Singularity since it's a mono yellow deck. And he would be playing Singularity and he wanted to find a replacement for it, so he went Falling Comet. But I think with a little more thought, you would probably replace this with something else. I just don't know what yet. 3 Grand Stratagem, 3 Harness Dragon. So this is a common staple in this deck. And if you don't have access to Singularity, I understand why. Because you need to kill big threats when you need to kill big threats. But I feel like Grand Stratagem just does that for you if you've been playing correctly. But that's just me. Overall, solid list. Now, I'm going to take a drink of water, and then we're going to start building a Viktor deck. Does anyone have any questions about how Viktor should be played? Or, I mean, I think I've been pretty clear on that one. I'm about to run out of water already. I brought a Gatorade just in case, but... Okay. So let's start building Viktor. Okay. So here I have to ask myself, do I want to build Hook Viktor? We only saw one example of Hook Viktor, and I liked it. I just feel like it's not going to be as good as Darius Hook Aggro. and I feel like I'd be doing myself a disservice by trying to build a better hook deck than the best hook deck in the format. If I wanted to play hook, I'd just play Darius. So I think we're going to go with a solid standard Viktor deck with just a bunch of early game pressure and late game bombs that actually come out in the mid. So with that being said, that means we will not be playing any of the seals like we saw with the hook aggro deck. I am also going to opt against Stupefy because I'm going to be playing 3 Grand Stratagem instead of the 2 that people were playing, meaning we don't have to cycle through our deck as often. Let's just play the standards, 3 of this, 3 of this, 3 of this, 3 of this. I don't think we're going to play Glory Seeker in this because we don't need the extra might on the 2 body for hook. 3 Call of the Week, very strong card. 3 Hidden Blade. Salvage is going to be on this side. I'm not quite sure I agree with Siphon Power because of the rampantness of Defy. I think we're kind of setting ourselves up to lose with that. I am a fan of back-to-back. Let me think on that. Yeah, I guess we don't need the extra might, but it'd be nice to have a battles, but no, we're probably going to be spending all of our mana every turn anyway. No, we're probably fine. I liked playing both Lecturing Yordle and Watchful Sentry as bodies. And obviously we're going to add everything we can and then remove it, whatever we don't want. We're doing a Shen. Vanguard Captain, very strong card. Where is the other girl? Faithful Manufacturer. There we go. So, in my opinion, it's a choice between Noxian Drummer and Vanguard Captain. And honestly, I think it'll be Noxian Drummer. Well, I lied. It's going to be Vanguard Captain because this puts more recruits, and I don't think... I think I want to play less Machine Evangel. I don't want to shuffle stuff back, so that's not in there. Cruel Patron's okay, but I'm not really looking to secure the mid game. I'm looking to secure the late with checkmate cards and secure the early with a bunch of bodies. So I think mid game cards like Sprite Mother and Cruel Patron, while Cruel Patron is cool, I'll put 2 in for now. I'm not quite sure it's correct, but 1 Chosen Champ, clearly I was wrong about that, that's fine. Set Vengeance, we don't really need any of these. Group Vanguard, we don't need. I'm a big fan of the Singularity Grand Stratagem combo. 3 Watchful, well, maybe 2 Watcher. If we're going this heavy, or maybe 3, but we'll do all 9. I think that's fine. Still not a fan of this card. I know I saw it everywhere, but still not a fan. And I think should be good. Let's see how many we have. We have 38 and 1. We need 1 more card. We have a bunch of late. All right, we'll just play the 3rd Cruel Patron as the 40th card. And that's it. That's good. That was fast. This deck is very easy to build. For me, Singularity was just a turn 6 on-card blowout. Yeah, I've realized that. Yeah, it's at 3 here. Singularity is fantastic. You missed some of the analysis, obviously, because you're busy working and stuff, but there was a guy that opted to play Riptide Rex instead of Singularity, and I didn't really agree with it because Singularity is such a blowout. Riptide Rex. Nope. When you play me, deal 6 to an enemy, but it costs the exact same. You just get a 6 might body with it, and I don't agree with that. I think the quick getting that and moving 2 bodies up is crazy. Battlefields. So I don't want to be committing a bunch of stuff to the battlefields for the opponent to just destroy. So we're actually not going to be playing the We're obviously going to be playing Arena's Greatest. This one, start of each player's beginning phase, that player gains a point. Just gets us closer to the late game a lot earlier. But we will not be playing. The units here have +1 because we don't intend to be holding. And while that is an increase on attacking as well, actually, I talked myself into it. We'll run one. And then since we're not playing Stupefy, we're not going to play the Dreaming Tree. Let's see. Unit moves here, get a +1 this turn. When you hold here, draw a card. We're not really going to be holding. When you hold here, buff a unit. When you conquer here, you may spend a buff, draw a card. This gets your chosen champ back. I mean, we don't really have other... That's probably why we saw the Viktor player playing Obelisk of Flaowr, and I think we're going to go ahead and add that. That way we get to the late game faster again. It looks like Obelisk of Power really reads like a late game deck card, but it's actually just like an all game deck card, I think. I think overall, if you want to get to the late game faster, you will be playing this. And even though Viktor is like a pseudo aggro, fast, early mid tempo deck, getting to the late game faster does you good because then you can play your grand stratagems earlier than your opponent is prepared for it. So I think that's solid. So let's go for runes. We'll just calculate it and see if this is correct. 4 and 8. Obelisk of Power is my go-to second battlefield. Sure, yeah. Starting with 4 is pretty brutal, especially if you can start with Viktor leader on turn literally is 1. I think that's fantastic. That's also another good reason to play it. Soaring Scout, Watchful Sentry, Raven Plume, Daring, Hidden Blade, Cult of Weak, Lecturing. So none of these have costs. This one has power costs. This one's a power cost. Yellow power cost. Blue. Grand Stratagem needs to be played. I think 4 is a little too light for blue. I think we need to up it by maybe do 6 and 6. Because none of the actual early game bodies. 5 and 7. I'm just worried that we won't have enough blues for Singularity, but that might just be a false worry. Feeling like starting with 3 is almost never relevant before easy peasy. Yeah, I agree, yeah. Because you're not going to build your deck with 3 costs saying, okay, well, if I go second, this card's in the main so I can play it on turn 1. I agree with you. But you will play a bunch of 4 and up because you will always be able to play those on turn 2. Being able to play them on turn 1 is very strong. So that's just solid logic, in my opinion. And that's the deck. Let's see. Viktor. Mid-range. Okay. That's the deck. Seems pretty strong. I'm a fan of that. I think we are... If you're here on YouTube, that ends the deck building / analysis section. So thank you for watching the YouTube video. Appreciate you. Keep in mind I stream on Twitch like I'm doing now. Every day, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Though that will change. I'm trying to go to some local tournaments here, so that might be a little weird. Did mono yellow perform better or worse? We could take a look at that, but mono yellow wasn't really a thing until Mono yellow was the only thing until they started incorporating actual blue cards with it. They were playing it as an aggro deck instead of like an early mid range tempo deck. But I don't think it performed well. The first decks that we looked at were actually higher placed in bigger tournaments. And one of them was a Hook Viktor before people discovered Darius Hook aggro. So, I think tomorrow I might build Lux. Or Jinx. Probably Jinx. Or I guess I should get the meta-relevant decks out of the way. So, Viktor... Sure. Tomorrow, since I've been talking about it pretty much all day today, we're going to build Darius aggro, and we'll talk about it. Just got to get all the meta decks out of the way. Darius is coming up. That's not how that works. Thanks for the redeem, though, but that's not how that works. Dom the Gathering followed. Thanks, Dom. Appreciate it. I swore I set up notifications. Was it when I was going to go grab... Oh. My headset turns off because there's no actual audio playing. It's so annoying. So I didn't actually hear the alert. But I did set up alerts. Anyway, tomorrow's Darius aggro. So that's a pretty big deal. And then next day is probably a Kaisa thrown in there, and then... we'll see the rest. If you haven't followed yet and you're watching the stream, feel free to follow. I'll shout you out. I'm like Dom the Gathering. I just didn't hear it. Sorry, my headset turns off. Thank you guys for watching. Just as is, we're sort of stalling a little bit because I don't have enough time to play a pickup game, and Flaowr doesn't get on until 10. So we could go see if we can watch some Riftbound games. Maybe. Let's take a look. Open up Discord. Just trying to get into one of those voice channels and see if they'll allow us to watch it real quick. That's what I'm doing right now off screen. Oh, they're playing real League of Legends. It's so funny.
Go here.
Hello. Hey, do you guys mind if I watch?
That's fine.
Okay. Sweet.
You go without saying.
Oh yeah, all good. I'll share.
Um,
No, thank you.
Clockwork and a hidden, huh? Go here.
yeah, that's fine.
Notify, I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah, you know,
Okay. So I'm muted in Discord. We're just going to watch them and listen and see what they're doing. So it looks like they're playing
Jesus Christ.
Annie
Is that 3?
and Leona. So
No,
not
it's too
very
far.
meta
It's
relevant
far.
decks.
Void Seeker. Yep.
Annie likes to keep stuff up, keep mana up so that she can play some of her disrupting spells. That's what her leader does at the end of your turn. Upgrade or stand up to mana. Leona just stuns stuff. Stun is a mechanic that says the thing that they're fighting does not deal damage this turn. I wish I would have been able to get into the tabletop simulator game, but I mean I appreciate it anyway. We're just sort of watching. Looks like there's a traveling merchant on the board, a deckhand, and a Kaisa. It looks like Annie is winning this game pretty handedly. Leona doesn't really have any ways to come back. He's playing green. Leona as his chosen champion. Not necessarily the best one. Green Leona says if you fight something that is stunned,
yep,
give it -8 this turn, so it makes it easier to kill on top of it not dealing any damage to itself.
Stacked off this combat.
When moving Green Leona there,
yeah, you good.
He responded with Flash to return 2 of his things back to the base. He shuffled 1 to hide 1. And now he has 2 reds to play maybe his Kaisa. Accelerated.
Yeah.
Or Vi, or... He discarded the Kaisa? Oh, because it probably can't kill the Leona? Although it easily could.
Something on this.
Stun it.
Sure.
And this.
Oh, I see. He was worried about the Facebreaker, which stuns both.
And then I'll play it.
That's interesting.
I'm riding. Notify.
Oh, he's riding the wind.
I mean,
Ride the wind, ready a friendly unit to move
that's fine. They still don't... Nobody dies.
This one will on the next one. Look. Okay.
So
you stun that.
So stun that and this, which means neither one of them do battle damage to each other.
Right, so these get recalled, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah?
Yeah.
And I play Vi. And I recycle a bunch of cards.
Yeah.
And I play Ride the Wind, and she moves here. So she deals no damage, but she takes damage.
Yep. That's how that works.
I see. Okay. Alright, now I understand why people don't play this deck.
Yeah, Leona's terrible.
This is a good card. That Facebreaker is a good card. One's a bit...
That's the thing. That was the hand. So I mean, so it's like it was either play the unit or you automatically get the points because there was nothing I could have done.
Yeah. That this is a turn off that you very rarely can afford to take.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna take that out if I want to play this deck. But again, I was like, we're gonna give it a shot because people are Not saying it's good, and I want to find out why. So.
Cool. You want to go again?
Yeah. You okay with me switching?
Yeah. Play whatever you want.
Okay.
If I may, there's also the idea that Green Leona is a little too big to be chosen champ. You'd probably want to play Yellow Leona instead, just so that you have that early to mid game pressure, so that you can fight for that.
See, that was the thought, but everything that I saw was just like, oh no, you need green in the front. You need green in the front. And I'm like, why?
I
And
mean,
they're
it's,
like, you need it. You need it. I'm like, all right, I'll fucking try it. Um. We'll try this.
I just feel like you get a
So why
little too
not?
far behind in the mid to early for the green to even matter when it comes out. Just like exactly what just happened there.
Yeah. Well, it didn't help that for my
Just one sec.
draw for turn, I drew 3 yellow Leona
No.
and the gear. So it didn't help that that was my starting turn.
That's fair. So, hey, some people want to play the hero that
You
they're
want to
trying to
pick a
play.
different
That's how it is.
battlefield, Saint?
I think he said it'd be RB.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you
Okay,
want
I'll go first.
Do you want to pick a different battlefield?
Put it back to game one. This
Yeah.
is game one.
Oh, we get to see some Darius
You
Hook
good?
aggro.
Yeah.
Okay.
We get to see it before we build it tomorrow. Very cool. Although he was playing Leona previously, so maybe... Hopefully he copied his list. Maybe it might not be the best showing, but we'll see. It's a very strong deck, especially in capable hands, so... Let's see if the red player can redeem himself.
Ready?
Yep.
I also like that we're playing Flash so that we can keep our bodies with Annie, because it'll always be live. That's really cute. Kind of a fan of that.
Go here.
How did Daring Poro get accelerated?
What can you do?
Go here.
You want to trigger a candlelit first? I assume. Yeah.
Recycle both. That's a good card. Excuse me. I might consider that battlefield. Five to display Darius cold. Interesting. Retreat the Poro. This guy knows what he's doing. These are the players I want to find.
You can draw 2.
Shake down the Kaisa. You'll always draw 2 there. It goes back to the I'm going to kill you before those 2 cards matter.
Kazans.
Sure. I'm gonna stack off the combat.
Yeah.
Holy shit, no, sorry. Okay.
Unfortunate. Unfortunate.
Well, Darius Hook aggro isn't being very hooky or aggro-y. I wonder what's in his hand. He's saying his draw is unfortunate.
Float.
Huh? Oh. I think this game's already over. It's like the other one. He's using Annie as like a worse Kaisa. He's playing all the spells. 2 that Kai'Sa would accept. He's playing the purple spells that are really strong. Ride the Wind to get extra aggression early. It's really fast and good. Very strong. I like that idea too. It's also at action speed or maybe even reaction speed, so you can hold it up. Phoenix. It's definitely not Darius aggro.
Jeez.
Two steel. Vi. This is a stomping, unfortunately. It's a massacre.
One step.
Yeah.
One each. I should be at 7, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And pass.
Oh, he already scored on the battlefield. I was like, why wouldn't he just move in the left battlefield?
This.
Sundisk, way too late.
Whoa. Wrong button. Tap 3. And then Sundisk. For Falling Star.
Huh.
On that. I'll trigger both of the Phoenixes in the grave.
It's too late.
Good.
Yeah.
Peg 1, cleave.
Go.
Go here.
Can you do that? The bird already has assault. I don't think you can give it assault again.
Yeah,
So
you can.
it gains so it's assault 3. It already has assault 2, so
Oh.
it gains assault 3. So it would be
1 extra.
Okay, they
9.
stack.
Yeah.
They stack. It'll be
Yeah.
like 8 or something.
You can't give assault 1 to one that has assault 1, but you can give assault 2
Yeah,
that
you
has
can.
assault.
No, you
Oh,
can.
you can? I thought. Oh, okay.
Apologies.
6. Yeah.
Yep.
Not sure that's true, chat, but that's fine.
I play Ride the Wind. I move this here.
I'll have to do some research on that one off stream.
Yeah.
Uh,
You just
0.8 and draw. Draw 2.
I think I agree with the. No, I specifically
Oh, you got
remember
discard.
reading something that said you couldn't give it the same keyword, but we'll see on
Yeah.
that.
You get a discard.
And then discard draw. I get 2 draws from this, that's all. So.
What am I doing?
Yeah, you have no way to get me off this.
I don't know
right?
what I'm doing. No, I don't think I do.
Yo, post the any deck list inside chat, bro. Come on.
What's that?
Post the deck list.
Any list.
Yeah, the any.
If you want to learn any, do you know Sold Out?
Nah.
So, if you go to
It's interesting. It's just
Let me
Kai'Sa.
check. Piltover Archive and look in the Events tab,
Yeah.
he's come on, load.
Other.
He'll be like one of the top any players in there. You can grab his list off Piltover Archive. Also, me and him wrote a guide on any. It's up on Metafy, but it's $30 for the guide.
I only see one Annie unofficial. There's no official Annie win. So. What's the guy's name?
His name's Sold Out. But why isn't Filter Archive working?
This guy's selling a Metafy chat. I don't think his opponent has a chance.
Also, he links it. If you just go into in Discord, in the server, there's under deck building, and then there's the Annie thread. Yeah, look. I'll post in the chat, in this room's chat, okay?
Yeah.
Hang on a sec. So this is the Metafy guide if you're interested. And I'll post a link to the deck list.
It must be a little more complicated than just worst Kaisa, huh? If he's selling a Metafy. I would love to see him play against a more competent opponent. Not saying his opponent's like... I just mean, clearly this guy's out of this guy's league.
There's the list.
Right. I would love to see someone in his league actually play against his Annie deck.
What
It
are we
looks
doing, game
super
two?
low to the ground.
Yeah.
With some removal and ride the winds and stuff.
Thank you.
Very interesting.
You're welcome.
Ride the Wind seems kind of good.
Yeah, it's
I'll
it's
go
n-
first.
this Annie list is the probably the most aggro deck in the format at the moment. Let's say aggro competitive deck in the format at the moment.
You think it's better than Darius Hook aggro?
Yeah, for sure.
Interesting.
Except the problem with Annie is it's like quite tricky to play because any little mistake that you make, it's just you get punished really hard.
Isn't Darius like RNG kind of like with Hook? Inconsistent. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah. Game started. We can talk a little after the game. Yeah.
Okay.
Darius Hook aggro is a little RNG chat, but so is Annie, and the fact that it doesn't have any draw power whatsoever. Like, you're not drawing any cards, it's whatever you draw you get. At least with Darius Hook aggro, you're looking at the top 5, plus you get to see whatever you're drawing. Plus you know in your deck what's still in your deck because it gets recycled instead of going to a discard pile or getting shuffled back into the deck.
Man.
So it's important to understand that. Now, if I do see some draw cards off the purple, like he is playing Traveling Merchant, so he does have some cycling ability there.
Yep.
But, you know, playing Flash is interesting, like I said. Noxious Hopeful for 4. This guy's very good. Just saying, you know, I don't care about the 2 mana discount for Noxious Hopeful. I'm just going to put something on the board and play it. And I know he mentioned that it's an aggro deck, but... is that on a battlefield? I don't want to speak out of turn again. Oh, he played his own Noxious Hopeful. Very cool. So now he's a little behind in tempo, so let's see what's happening. He got the Sun Disc off. Noxious Hopeful's on the board here.
Let's go void on this.
Okay, he did the same things. Hit him with the Kaisa rockets or whatever it's called. Traveling Merchant, that's what we're talking about. If he gets multiple turns off of Traveling Merchant, then it's really scary. An aggro deck that's able to look at more cards in the deck is always scary. If we can get rid of Flash or use Flash to maintain the...
Yeah.
He accelerated Kaisa. It's certainly an interesting choice on no board. There's paid 2.
Actually, I'll go ahead first.
Yeah, draw first.
Ditch.
That's very interesting. Oh, because he plans to ride the wind to Darius.
Play Flight or Flight on this.
Oh, wow.
Ready Darius. Trigger Dreaming Tree.
Wow. Chat, this guy's in another
Yeah,
league. That is gorgeous. What a beautiful play.
Darius is 7.
Yeah, he stands up, becomes 7, kills the accelerated Kaisei, you go to 6, it's just not enough.
So yep.
Yeah, wow. Incredible. He gets to maintain his value off of the merchant. He gets to go in and do the move trigger again. He triggered the Dreaming Tree since he targeted his own guy to draw a card. Just
You can draw 2.
gorgeous. Shake down the Darius, you'll always draw 2.
Okay.
For 2, comes in ready, Sundisk. What are you going to do with it, though?
Wait, eh?
Giving an aggro deck draw cards is... Does Flash banish it?
Yeah, you good.
Oh, because it says out of battlefield? Interesting. Because Hidden Blade says at a battlefield, it just misses target. Very cool. Noxious Hopeful plus probably another Hidden Blade. I don't know what other hidden they would use.
Start here. Yep.
Yep, Hidden Blade, draw 2 cards.
That should be there.
Merchant. Just gotta draw. Darius. Okay. Got deck.
He's playing Puddle Duality. Obviously, card's very strong. Picked up a Vi from that.
Yep.
Holding 2 battlefields, no presence whatsoever from the Darius player. I think that's a red Darius.
Yep, draw 2.
Another Shakedown.
That's fine.
Shakedown seems like a good card on paper, but when you're throwing it up against aggro, that should have already been immediately sided out. I don't agree with that. They will always let you draw 2 in order to maintain board
3
presence.
till 4 at the moment.
Yeah, because of the battlefield that you
Oh,
selected.
I see now. Oh. Sure.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, third Hidden Blade.
It's okay.
Draws 2. That is
Actually,
incredibly bad.
Order combat finishes. Yes. Let's go back.
Yep, retreat once you've
Nice
already
deck,
gotten the
yeah.
point for it. Very smart, correct? Vi, another Traveling Merchant, Sneaky Deckhand. It'd be difficult not to select Sneaky Deckhand here. Interesting.
A Vine base. Ready Darius. Go here.
At a point, he's not going to be able to break Darius. He only has 5 mana. He doesn't have enough mana for Sundisk. And he just
and he-
continues to pile on. And he searches a spell. Wow. Add a Fighter
Get
Flight.
back, Fighter
You have 1
Flight.
mana out.
Mhm.
Oh, but you have 2 at the end phase. Oh, that's brutal. Wow. What a scary deck.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Oh, he's playing Vayne.
I guess I didn't really need to do that.
You can do it the other order, so that's ready
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Game's over. This game was over a couple of turns ago, but now it's actually officially over. That doesn't actually do anything.
Sure.
You know he has fight or flight. He has enough power on board. He has 12 cards in his grave for Vi. Just wins on the spot.
Anything else? Yeah. GG. Oh god. Yeah, that's probably the most aggressive deck I've ever played against. It's-
Dude, you are playing out of your mind. Just
I
an
kind of want to see how I do with a different deck real quick. We'll just do best of one real quick, and then I'll let somebody else play if they want to play.
You guys all mates, are you?
No, I just came in to watch him, sort of in the middle of waiting to go do something else, and just happened to stumble upon here. I don't know any of these other guys, but brother, you're incredible. What's your background? What game are you coming from?
I come from Magic.
Magic.
But-
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I've been playing this since like probably July.
Yeah.
thereabouts, on when it came out here. So I got a lot of reps of a lot of decks. So
And you're sticking with Annie, huh? Are you going to Houston? You sound European.
I'm in Australia.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
Everybody I play with is from Australia.
Well, they love this game apparently.
Um,
So you're
Yeah,
not
no,
going to Houston.
no, I mean, I want to, but I'm not paying whatever it is, 3,000 for the airfares
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah, normally people on that island are kind of stuck on that island. Or I guess continent, sorry.
It's an island. It's both. It's the only island continent.
Sorry, there I go being an uneducated American. Anyway, I'd love to see you play it like on a bigger stage. I know it's like way deep in my throat at this point, but I'll get it out of there. Just
Oh,
I don't know.
I get to choose. All right, I'll go first this time.
Okay.
Yeah, this guy's good. This guy's good, chat. Just some of that
Yeah, good.
sequencing. Using Annie to
I'm
checkmate
mulliganing, I'm just thinking.
the fighter flight. Yeah. Brutally strong. Ended that game as an aggro deck with 7 or 8 cards in his hand. Crazy. We just got lucky, chat. We hit the lottery with these random games. I've tried to do some pickup games with other people.
Okay. Ready when you are.
And they tend to be more like the Leono player, where they don't really know what's going on. They don't really know some of the rulings. They don't know.
Yeah.
They don't really understand how card economy works. They're still playing the
Eye roller.
What?
Hey, Gal, how are you?
Dumb fun.
Yep.
Using a challenge on a 2 mic guy. This is very interesting.
Why challenge there? You can just walk over him.
Oh, it's all right, Gal. He's still figuring stuff out.
But isn't that when we help people?
Yeah.
I know. In theory, I probably should have conquered and then done that, but it's fine.
Well, he was just saying that the Poro has assault, so you were 3 going up against a 2. You didn't need the.
Yeah.
I
You
wasn't
did a
attacking.
trade.
I wasn't attacking,
No,
and
but
this
he's
is not.
saying you could have
This
just,
is not an action or reaction spell.
he's saying you could have just attacked this battlefield and killed the
Yeah.
Poro that way instead, the sneaky
Yeah.
that way instead of casting.
I didn't know
stuff.
what you had in hand.
Yeah. He's scared of something that he doesn't know what's in this deck. So, what am I doing? Set.
Chat, that's reasonable, I
Then
guess.
you just would have
It's
fight or
just-
flighted it, and then I would have done the same thing anyway. So
So then. But then you would have pulled a fight
In
or
that
flight
way,
from his
so
hand,
you-
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
it's fine. Jesus
we're learning.
Christ, man.
Yeah, that's a rough one, chat.
Do it again.
Do it again. He already knows what's in his hand. He knows. He knows every
Do that
single
one.
card in his hand. He played the Kais off the top of the deck. He knows every single spell. What is he trying to hit with that?
Go here.
He came back to you.
He did.
Lord.
I didn't want him, but he insisted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's hovering over all of his move spells. Yeah, I guess that happens.
Mm.
He's gonna pick up a red to win. That's interesting. I would pick up Vi and a heartbeat. I have no bodies. Yep. Yep. There you go. Sticking a Kiana. This is what you'd be afraid to fight or flight. Why is she standing? And if we were going to pay that much mana anyway, why didn't we summon Chosen Champ Set? Because if we did do Chosen Champ... Okay, we did both. Okay, I guess Kiana came down last turn. Which is why she's ready here. That's fine. This is going to get fight or flighted because he doesn't want him to ramp or draw a card. Or he's just going to let it die. He's okay
Just
with
as a yeah, go for it.
I'll channel.
Channel with 5 cards in hand. Sure. That's reasonable. It's a good play. I'm trying to get to the late game for a reason. Showstopper.
Showstopper. Okay. So you're at 1. Just thinking on this for a sec. Thinking on this. Yeah. Okay. So I'll push this back.
Mm-hmm. Stays buff.
Huh?
Oh,
The buff doesn't go away. Yeah.
yeah. It's just
Did he not spend it to draw a card?
Yeah.
Oh, he did on the Kiana. Got it.
draw. Digital. Oh. Cross accelerate and cleave coming in here.
Mm-hmm.
Did you spend? No, you spent this buff. Was this buffed? This was buffed.
Oh, you have to spin its buff. Oh, I thought you could spin a buff.
It's buff.
Ah, okay.
Draw. Pass staging.
He didn't know what set did, which is fine. It's a little confusing.
Oh, Max is here too. Why is everyone watching this?
I'm gonna
Content.
spin.
Because you're my favorite Riftbound player. I just love watching you play.
I'm gonna spin Set's buff.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
I'll challenge this and this.
Call me. Yes. Let me take a quick break, get some water.
Yeah.
And then I will call Flaowr and we will play our own games instead of watching this guy put on a master class. All right. BRB.
It should still do damage to it, whether you do that or not. Because it doesn't matter if it leaves the battlefield or not. It should still do the damage.
No,
So
so
instead
this,
of
the
instead
enemy
of
unit has to be in the
BRBing,
battlefield.
you guys can actually
the
just listen to
targeting
this guy while I go
requirements
away.
for it is at a battlefield. So when I move it
BRB.
back, it's no longer a legal target on resolution. So it doesn't work.
I'll go here. Give it a buff. That minus buff. Draw.
Play ride the wind off the combat and move caster here.
Sure.
Okay, so you can resolve this. Get your card. And then I get a conquer point, draw. And then discard draw.
I guess if I call Flaowr, you guys can't hear them anymore. That's my bad, BRB. All right, we're back. Oh, let me close this door. Well, Flaowr told me to call him, but when I call him, he doesn't answer. He must be busy starting his stream or something. The people that have stuck around, thank you for sticking around. That guy was incredible. I'm excited to tell Flaowr about it. Oh, hey.
Hello.
Hey. Are you streaming yet, or do you start it later?
I started after I joined the call with you,
Oh, okay. Did you want to send a collab?
so that way I can hear you without it echoing into the stream.
Hmm. Were you watching that Annie player?
No, I was busy.
Oh, man. That guy was brutally strong.
The player?
The player just playing out of his mind. Incredible play. Back after, like, play after play after play. Just back to back. Incredible plays.
Why do you say that?
They were just super solid. Some stuff that I wouldn't see. Like, he
What
moved
was the
some stuff
matchup?
back to dodge. He was playing against a not so good guy. A guy that seemed like he was just learning what all the different legends did. Not playing any of the meta legends except for Darius, but not playing hook aggro with Darius. It was a bit weird. But the guy, the good guy was playing Annie, and he was selling a meta 5 for $30 for Annie specifically. Which I thought was just a worse Kaisa, but I don't think that's actually the case. I think the access to purple over blue, sure you miss out on singularity and your E matchups are bad, but I think that deck also like claws under them instead of trying to beat them going over with Kaisa, right? Like, it was just solid. Unfortunately, his opponent didn't really put up a fight in any of the games, but that's okay. His opponent was learning, and that's fine. Gonna open up tabletop.
So wait, what was one of the cool plays that you saw?
Things would target things on the board, and Annie at the end phase stands 2 mana, so she's like a mini Sona on a legend.
Okay.
And opponent would like target something at a battlefield, and he would chain like Flash, which is a 2 mana spell that returns things to base. And he'd return his own stuff to base so that it dodges that. But additionally, he's playing a card called Ride the Wind, which readies something and moves it, but he's using it as an aggro piece, which is really interesting. There was a play where
Thanks, Crimson.
he targeted his own guy on the one that allows you to draw a card.
Sorry, I think I'm a little sick.
Oh, that sucks. We're not... Okay, yeah, we're muted there. Cool.
Yeah, because these sneezes are coming through despite having an allergy pill earlier.
Oh, you
Had
think you're
kind of a
actually
sore throat. I hope you didn't get sick. I didn't know I was sick till today.
I do feel a scratchy throat, but I'm drinking a lot of water and I have electrolytes, so I should be good.
Oh, that's what plants crave.
Yeah.
I turned on shared chat. I don't know if it's working.
I see it. Hey, Merchant.
Hello, Merchant. Looks like it's working.
Yeah.
Also, hello, Crimson. I met Crimson at TwitchCon.
Oh.
Well, I knew him on Twitch before, but I got to meet him at TwitchCon. Do you already have the tabletop open?
It's open now. And then the plan today was to do best of one, Ari versus Viktor, and then just Viktor mirrors for best of ones until we run out of time, right?
Yeah, or you can change the plan It's up to you. You can also always just hand me a deck and let me check the profile real quick and then just ask me what I think. All kinds of different things. You just tell me what you want. This is kind of like your rodeo, and I'm just here to try to do my best to give insight, right?
I posted your deck in the chat.
In the chat, okay. I kind of forget how to download it though.
You click it. Then
Is it a copy link?
No, it is export deck, copy TTS code.
Okay, and then that goes into this.
Yeah, but you need to make sure you're the right color. You're blue, yes, and then import deck.
I'm gonna check the profile. Wait, is this the one you made for me?
This is the one I made, and it just so happens to have all the principles that we talked about, because they were all correct given what I saw when doing
I'm gonna do my quick little rundown of it then. Because I think last time we had time, we had a little bit extra time, so I feel like I have time here to look at this. Wait, what the heck? Okay. So the battlefields you gave me were units here +1. I liked that if I have enough going wide pieces. I liked the arena's greatest. I feel like that's what I would do if I were going first. I like Obelisk of Power if I'm going second. Raven Bloom Student, cracked. What is Hidden Blade?
Pot of Greed
kill
or kill something big.
Well, it's okay. Yeah. It's either Pot of Greed for me, or it's kill their thing and they draw 2.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm convinced about that, just because I haven't seen a good moment for it.
That card's incredible. It's in every list.
Yeah, but things being in every list can be wrong. I just have to see it to believe it, if that makes any sense. I also need to see which use case is used more often. Daring Poro. It's good. Soaring Scout. Oh, that's crazy. Channeler and exhausted when it dies.
Yeah.
That's funny. Each player kills one of their units, but they get to choose, right? That's
Yes.
also like awkward to me.
Well, I explained that earlier. It keeps your opponent in the early game. So, like, if they're trying to catch up to your early game by dropping one of their mid-game threats, you just immediately kill it, and they have nothing, and you gain another 2 points. It's specifically for the early game.
I remember seeing that in a list, though, and I remember it was one of the reasons that I didn't like that list. But I'll continue. Watchful Sentry. Draw a card when it dies. But it's like another goblin. Lecturing Yordle. When you play me, draw one, it's a tank. Does it being a tank matter?
Not often.
It's just the draw is what's good about it.
Yeah, and it's 2 might. And when
Faithful
it dies, you get to take it.
Manufactor. And you play 3 3-drops. Does that ever come up as being annoying?
No, because one of them
To
is
me,
actually a
3-drops are
4-drop.
kind of just weaker 4-drops.
One of those is actually a 4-drop. Or a 5-drop, because it has Legion.
What does Legion mean? Play 2 recruit unit tokens here. Vanguard Captain seems good.
Yeah, but it has Legion, so you have to play another card before it.
Well, you don't have any 1-drops.
Yeah, that's why I said it's like a 5-cost card.
Oh, this is a 5-cost card.
But that's when you like Cold a Week, or I think I took out Stupefy. Yeah.
Cruel Patron. I remember I didn't play this either in the list that I was testing.
It's good to hold the mid game. And I couldn't find another card for that slot. That made sense, given the fundamentals.
And we don't
of
have the other Victor list so I can compare it to, right? I don't
No.
know where it is. Damn.
You were supposed to save it. If you lost it, it's on you.
That's fair. Still don't know how to save these things. I'm just gonna do it the old-fashioned way and start writing them down. Okay, so to be honest, I'm not seeing the plot here. I need you to go over this with me. What is the game plan?
To win the early super hard and threaten a bunch of checkmates.
No, I mean like literally.
What do you
Here,
mean?
let me go open up your stream. Like, for example, if I were to give you a sword from Shadowverse game plan, I'm gonna be like, okay, you're gonna play your 1, 2, 3 on curve like normal. You're gonna hope to see a fleur-de-lis on turn 4. Is that what her name was? I don't remember her name. And then you're trying to Leonidas on 7, and then Leonidas helps you push for game. That's a really simple game plan. What's the game plan of this? What are the cards I want to see? What are the cards that are just fillers? How do I use them?
There are no filler cards. You want to see the goblins early. You want to see Call the Weak early. You want to see your 2 mid-game pieces of Vanguard Captain and Cruel Patron in the mid-game. And then your late-game bombs are supposed to be good for the late game to win. If you're playing a late-game bomb, you should be winning that game. Like that particular turn, you should be winning. If you're not winning after playing a late-game bomb, you should be setting up a late-game bomb. Another one that's already in your hand. Let's see. You want to get your leader out as soon as possible, because he's going to replace your little bodies to give you the mid game that you need.
Where is my chosen champ?
Over here.
Oh,
Next
there
to
he
your
is.
legend.
Okay. Okay, I'll try it out.
Okay. But you want to
Merchant
get
said, made sure all the links are working. Thank you, Merchant.
you want to get this out early because your early game turns into your late game, or it turns into your mid game. Because you're not going to be using tokens for attacking bodies, you're going to be using tokens to clear battlefields. Or not clear battlefields, conquer battlefields. And you're going to keep a bunch of tokens in your base. And the way you get those tokens is by either wasting your extra point on this, if you're on an odd number.
Ooh, I just remembered that. 3s are good because of your leader. So remember how I was saying like 3s are just weaker 4s? Well, that's actually broken with your leader. I didn't actually think about that.
Yeah. And then you keep a bunch of bodies in your base, and then your late game bombs win with the bodies in your base. I don't think this deck stands a chance because 3 Singularity are in that deck.
You don't think your deck stands a chance because of the Singularity?
Correct.
So you think your deck is very cheesable?
No. Singularity is not a cheese card.
I don't know. I kind of think it is.
Okay. I mean, I played in Lux, and Lux is a cheese deck, so if you want to count it as that, sure. Anyway, let's roll a die.
Well, because I don't think Singularity follows my game plan. It just counters other people's. But if other people's game plan doesn't get countered by it, then it does nothing. That's why I consider it kind of cheese.
Well, killing two medium-sized things is almost always going to be good. Against pretty much any deck. Except for the small decks, but you could just side them out. 11.
Looks like I'm losing die roll. We're just doing best of ones today, though, right?
I'll start. Yeah, best of ones.
Okay. Knowing you're starting, I'll do my classic obelisk, most likely. Actually, let me see. Units here are +1. I don't know if I want to try that yet. I'm just going to go with my tried and true favorite, going second card.
Well, that includes attackers. So
Yeah.
it reads like a hold battlefield, but it's not. It's an attacking battlefield.
No, it reads like advantage the wide player.
Sure, that's more accurate.
Doesn't matter on defending or attacking. At all, really.
It does, because you don't want to hold with tokens. You'll lose them all, and then you won't have a late game.
Okay. Do we start?
Yeah,
4. Okay, good luck, have fun.
you too.
Huh. How many? Oh shit, I don't remember. How many grand stratagems were in here?
3.
How many thousand-tailed watchers?
3.
Okay, you went really heavy. Okay.
Yes.
Just wanted to know that.
And you also have 3 singularity. And that's
I
your top
think I'm
end.
going to. How do I put them on the bottom? I'm sorry, I always forget.
Put them in the
F?
black box.
F and then black box.
Yep.
I feel like. This is fine. I'll just draw one. So what do I do?
You draw a card, and then you click the black button.
Click one, black button. Okay. I'll eventually remember all this shit.
Okay.
Hello, Valengo. Welcome in. Welcome to some card gaming. I met Valengo through a Grandpa's Change stream.
Huh.
I started meeting a ton of streamers that day.
Pass.
Oh, make sure you have 3 mana.
Oh. Still pass.
You're not using the 3rd one? Or is it exhausted?
No, I'm not.
Shoot. So you're playing on curve. So I draw 1 on the first turn, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then we do 4.
Should have clicked the blue button, because you would have gotten 2 and drawn for turn. And then you would only have to flip 2, but...
Wait. Thinking emoji. Okay. I'm an idiot, right? I should do the leader. My brain wasn't working.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, I don't know how to put it back in my hand.
Raise your lift height. In the top right, where the 90 degrees thing is, increase your lift height by a little higher.
I don't know what that means.
At the top, do you see 90 degrees on your screen?
I know, I raised it, but I don't know what that means.
That means when you pick up a card, it goes higher than what it was. It just wasn't high
Okay.
enough to get back into your hand.
Okay, so Victor says when another non-recruit unit dies, play a recruit. Okay. So we had to shuffle a yellow to get that,
Yeah.
but we used all 4 mana, then shuffle the yellow because you can shuffle the exhausted ones. Cool. Pass. So you're playing your main, right? You're playing an R game right here.
Yep.
The next game, do you want to test out this list and I play like the Auroralist Yi, or do you want to do the mirror match?
I don't have a Royal Sea pulled up. I think I want to do a mirror match, if that's alright.
We can do a mirror match, but I think I have the other one still saved in Discord.
You have a Royalist saved in Discord?
Yeah, you sent it to me and it's like readily quick to grab. We'll see if we have time. We can do the mirror match. And then if we have time, we'll do that one.
Go ahead.
Home at a battlefield, ready for... Okay, it's that. So yeah, you getting your goblin makes Sona way stronger. Then you can play her into the battlefield, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you hold here, draw 1. So it's unlikely I take that. Okay, so I clicked the button. Easy peasy. Oh, freaking bot. That's funny. Hmm. Boop. Whoops. And then I guess use my leader. Do I tap the leader too?
Yeah.
How do I spawn the token? The button?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, none of these had accelerate, right? I could have technically moved Victor into that thing, but that would be really risky, huh?
Yeah. And theoretically, I don't
yeah.
have anything to threaten it yet, but you don't want Victor to die. Some people play retreat just to keep the Victor alive, since you don't have access to Zonias in those colors.
How would that work?
Retreat's a 1-mana spell that says target something you control, add it back to your hand, channel a rune exhausted.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because in the mirror match you get 1 singularity and like it's pretty much over.
Yeah. Are you passing?
Yeah, I'm passing.
Okay. Nothing I can do. Gain a point. When I hold, I draw a card.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, how am I this unlucky? I just want to check to make sure I have blues in here. I do. Cool.
Hey, question about Thousand-Tailed Watcher. Is it really an 8-mana card if you're accelerating it?
Yeah, it's an 8-mana shuffle 2 back if you're accelerating it.
Gotcha.
1, 2. Wait, I should draw first. 2 for meditation, target Starwell Pura to draw.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking.
Your leader says...
-1 to something.
-1 to something. Nice.
I'm thinking if I want to get Singularity for my life savings next turn by summoning green already here. I don't think I want to do that.
I feel like you gotta play like Better Have It though, right?
Why? What?
Well, think about it like logically, right? You're like, oh, I lose the Singularity if I do that. But do you lose to the regular game plan if you don't?
No.
Okay. Fair enough. How do you have so many cards?
I've been drawing. I held and drew a card. Meditation drew a card.
Okay.
This drew a card.
Fair enough.
Pass with 5.
Let's pass with 5. Click. Ready.
Excuse me.
You play spell, give me +1. This is an interesting decision. Big boy alert? Interesting.
Big boy alert. That's Corey. I don't know if you remember, I went to a wedding in Delaware. It was him getting married.
Really?
Yeah. He got married. He's a married man now. He's locked down. Ball and chain.
Imagine being married.
Couldn't be me.
Right. I don't know what I want to do here. Interesting. think it's something like this. Fuck. I don't know why I keep doing that midair. Any responses?
Yeah, on the showdown. To draw 2.
Sure.
Okay.
So I get a point?
Yep.
Cool. Response.
You're good.
Your leader does help you in this matchup.
Only for the 2 might guys, not your 1 might guys.
Yeah. I guess you're right. You play me, play recruit. Does it come out exhausted?
Yeah. But you can play it to a battlefield. Oh no, it says here. Never mind. I'm lying.
Yeah, it says there.
You could play him to a battlefield.
Kill this thing. How do I kill it?
Why are you doing
Okay.
that?
Huh?
Why are you doing that?
Why am I doing what?
This.
Why not?
Because you could play him here, kill this, draw a card, get another token.
Well, I can still play him there and do that. That is smart, though. I could still kill the sentry,
You could.
which I think is wise. To draw one.
Yep, and get a token.
Does this token always play in base?
It just says
Yeah.
play. It does, yeah.
Yeah, it says base. But I will move this one back over here. And that's my turn.
Think. Never mind. Okay. I'm gonna draw one from the battlefield.
Mm-hmm. Be afraid.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
Why do you have 1 million cards?
My progress stayed. Pass.
You only have 1 million mana.
Yeah.
Ding. Guess we're trying the bird. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Shuffle 2 blue, right?
Mhm.
So that's your shit is -3 this turn.
Yeah. But that doesn't actually affect the poros.
It -1s them.
It does -1 them.
So everything here is 1, but the shields come back in, correct?
Yes.
The question is, are we just pushing everything?
Hey, Fix.
I feel like we kind of have to. Hi, Fix. You're working on a project? No worries. Why do I keep doing this? I hate this game. Do I keep the recruits for any reason?
Yeah, for Grand Stratagem later.
Yeah, but I could lose this fight. Right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I keep fucking doing this. Keep flipping them too soon.
These go back up to 2. And you have 1 mana up.
Yeah, it's for the Defy in my hand.
Yeah, the green card. Pay 2, shuffle this back, stun this. Pay 2, shuffle this back, stun this. Then pay 2, block, target this Poro, give it +3 and tank.
So your stuff survives.
Well, you can. Yeah, I guess it does. These don't do any damage. Poro could kill stuff. Good. Let's go. I can only kill 1. I'll do 5 here to make it easy. And then.
Oops.
Yeah, he did. And then yeah, kill your weenie 1-ups. And you keep the fox.
Does the fox retreat?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tap the leader, get another recruit.
Okay. Yeah, pass. You said pass, right? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Gain a point, draw a card. Thinking. 4, 5, 6. Is this greedy? It's greedy. Five and 1. Green Ari. Shuffling back, set a secret. Pay 2, or will I? I won't. Pass with 5 up.
Ing. So your stuff is back to normal?
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Shuffle 2 blue. Question is do I bring Viktor? Are we that all in here? Viktor definitely dies if I bring him in here. That is an interesting decision. I guess I don't know. I don't have enough experience to know if I bring Viktor here. Like maybe because you're 2 stuns down, that's a reason not to bring him, because it's less likely full stop the Watchers. It's hard to tell. Anthony's on a 7 stream streak, broken. Anthony, if you get to a fucking year streak, I'm gonna buy you like a steak dinner. Alrighty, let's see here. What would you do? Would you bring the fucking Viktor?
No. I feel like this is an overcommitment already on your part.
Overcommitment?
Yeah.
In what way?
I think
If I don't take this, I lose the game.
I agree with that.
So in what way?
In a way that they're going to remain 1 anyway. So I'd keep the foxes back and ping off the things with the tokens if you're going to throw them in.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
I mean, and then, do I have any responses? No? Okay.
Well, you
Close
have
the clock.
shields.
They're not tank. They're just shields. Kill this.
Oh, I can attack more than once?
You can attack over and over again.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm not saying I'll let that go, but if you're going to let the tokens die, then you should probably use them smartly.
Okay, yeah, let's do that then. I didn't realize I could even do that. So, sure. Response. But that still doesn't even mean overcommitment. You're saying the ordering is wrong.
Well, it's an overcommitment of the tokens that I'm just going to kill for free if you didn't have to send them into 1 battle in the first place. And they might not even be relevant. This makes them relevant. Thinking. I'll discipline green Ari.
So then the keeper dies?
It's up to you what you want to kill.
Or Sona? Wait, Sona can die?
Yeah. Wait. Yep. She can die.
So this is dead.
Mm-hmm. Maybe Ari being at 3 changes your game plan. Because you can't just ping her off for free.
Yeah, but I can kill the
Okay.
keeper, right?
Yeah, you could. Thinking.
This makes it harder for you to just tank counter the entire push.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll meditate the keeper to draw 2.
Sure. You still have 1 mana up?
Yep.
What is 1 mana that stops a Watcher?
Nothing. Wait. Charm, but it's not an action.
I guess we could just send in the second Watcher. Well, no, in case you somehow get above... Wait, what are you at right now? You're at 7. No, we need both Watchers. Right?
Yeah, and now it's probably when you fight with both Watchers. Or you can see what I do to the first Watcher since I'm at 7 anyway.
No, I literally need both because they're getting -1.
Oh, true. Good fight.
Yeah.
I'll kill a Watcher.
That gave me a point. Spend my last to get another recruit, I suppose.
Oh, did you get all your recruits for everything that just died?
Oh, I need 2 for the Watchers. I believe that's it. 2 for the Watchers.
Yeah. Well, 1 Watcher died. That's it.
Yeah. Oh, the other Watcher's alive. How do I get rid of this recruit?
Just throw it over here in this pile.
Oh, whoops. Okay. Technically, one of these was standing, so I could move it.
Okay.
Thinking if that's important, I don't think so. Something that seems more important is moving this one back.
Okay.
Yeah, I suppose that's me passing.
Okay. Try here.
Sure. So I should have moved her back too, huh?
Maybe. Yeah.
Not maybe, probably guaranteed. Because that would... I already knew you had that thing alive, right? That was just silly. Okay, yeah.
Thinking if I want to hold more up.
So yeah, you move Ari in and then you just plate Sona in there. That's always really strong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll pass there.
It's such an interesting matchup because even though, like, sure, in theory I take things very easily, you hold things very easily. It didn't score my point, did it?
It should.
When I click ready.
Oh, no, of course not. I mean, it looked like you were setting up for a stratagem play, so I feel like I lose.
Well, that would have been if I had it. But
Oh,
knowing
really?
me, I probably just top decked it, right?
You've seen 2 Watcher. You could also have Singularity, which blows me out here since I've used my recursion resource. Give a lot of options.
Yeah, or I could have top decked a grand stratagem.
Yeah, but you wouldn't use that here.
I wouldn't.
Although maybe you would. It's the same thing as Singularity.
Grand Stratagem. Well, it's really hard to hold. Like Grand Stratagem takes here, but it makes it really hard to hold. This card seems good here. These get defied. Your deck has defy. Yeah, I wouldn't play into defy. This card just seems really bad. The fact that it gets defied is a problem. The fact that it's a late game card that I don't ever want to use seems like a problem.
What are you talking about?
This.
It's not. It's only an early game card, and it would go ham right now.
No, because I just get defied.
Then I'm using defy for that, and not your Grand Stratagem that you still have enough mana for.
Grand Stratagem never gets defied. Because defy needs to hit a small spell, right?
Yeah, I mean you can cut it if you want, but it's just incorrect.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's probably just this line. Yeah, we're gonna Grand Stratagem. We're gonna go kind of fucking all in here.
Okay.
Give friendly units +5 this turn. Does that mean right now, or does that mean future units too?
I don't know.
Probably right now.
I would say right now, but I don't know.
Whoops. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 3 yellows, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, so these are, what are these?
6.
5s?
6.
Whoops.
It's 7.
I'm sorry. Okay, so you said I can move these in one at a time, especially because your things are 4s, right?
Yep.
So that's probably the way to do this. Attempt to move 1.
No response.
You think I look like Wesker, Anthony? You said no response? I guess we're attempting to kill the Ahri. So this dies though, right? Because you're the 8 might.
Yeah.
Then I guess attempt another.
Yep.
That's a point. And then I suppose I would play this for 3. Shuffling a yellow. So I'm back into the Stone Ages, but that summons 2 tokens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Over there.
Yeah.
And then I feel like this is where I'm all in.
On that, I'm going to find my center.
What does that do?
Draw a card, channel, or an exhaust.
Nice.
For 1 mana, because here. At 6.
I feel like here I'm all in, right? So let me just assume that these are lower for next turn. Wait, what is this thing's natural? 3? These are 1s. This is now me planning ahead. Wait, am I actually all in? Brain. I'm not all in, am I? Maybe I should have been. Wait, but if you take both, I'd lose, right? Or no, you're not on game point. Okay, you're getting hoed. I wouldn't have played that there then. Just play them in base, right?
Reasonable.
Yeah, because I don't think it actually matters if you take both because you're not on game point, right?
Right.
So in fact, we're actually even retreating the bird. We're actually the opposite of all in. We're just like super preparing. In fact, now that I think about it, I think this is just not the all-in character. This is like the hope the game plan works character. But I am back in the Stone Age, which is very scary. Alright, yeah, I suppose then I'm passing.
Okay.
I could see the retreat being used here, not even just for Viktor, but in order to keep watching people.
Sure. Would you trade it for the call the week?
Yeah, because I would especially use it here to be able to, like, for example, I would have used another Watcher play last turn instead of going into the Grand Stratagem because the Watcher doesn't put me in the Stone Age. And I'd still have the Grand Stratagem, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't see a way out of it. You got it.
Don't you... Do you just mean you lose pacing? Like, I'm kind of like out of stuff.
You literally win next turn.
I don't have like a... How would I win next turn?
You just move anything to this battlefield and you win.
Wouldn't you take both battlefields here? Or no, oh, you don't have Accelerate. Right?
I mean, Watcher does, but I take one battlefield, you kill it with all your other stuff, you move a token over here, that's game.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I didn't realize that that was happening. Okay, yeah, my bad.
Well, we are out of time.
We only got to play one game. That was a very interesting game.
Yeah, I don't think I can keep up in the late. I think killing the girls is also super rough.
I definitely needed the bombs. I think this deck has to play top heavy, Viktor.
No, I know. I agree. I don't agree with the 2 Grand Stratagem, 1 Fox, and just trying to draw into it Stupefy. I think multiple bombs is broken in this deck because your early is so good. I think there might have been some early game missteps that you had. Like you probably should have been 1 point up because one of your token buddies was worth a point on your left, my right battlefield. In the early.
I don't think so. I think the misstep was not attacking with one thing at a time in the first fight when you tanked and killed in that fight. I could have lost 1 unit and still had all of my guys safe in base instead of losing everything that wasn't the Fox. Or maybe the same outcome would have happened, but I would have killed 1 more of your things. That might have been the actual difference. So that's something I learned about this character, is knowing when you can just send one thing at a time, knowing when to commit.
What else is in your hand? 2 cold a week and a bird.
Yeah. Bird I just drew too late to play it. Because I was spending all of my mana on the bombs.
Which is totally fine.
Yeah, that's fine. The bird had to be there, because if I drew in different order, the bird would have gotten played. The deck functions, though. I think Call of the Week is, for example, in the mirror is broken. Like, there's definitely some interesting situations where, like, if my opponent Victor's first, I can play, like, a 2-drop, then go Call of the Week. You know what I mean?
It's
So,
more
like,
for hitting, like, Kiana and Set and Darius and Kaisa.
yeah. I think if I'm playing against green, I'm very afraid to play Call of the Week.
That's what side decks are for. But even playing against green in general, green you have Yi, you have Yasuo.
Yeah, I don't think I want a Call of the Week at all against green. It's just gonna get defied.
Yeah, I guess you don't really have any other Defy targets in your deck.
Exactly, so this always gets defied. That's what I'm saying. And the fact that it shuffles one back makes the defy much more annoying for me, because it's like I could have just played around their defy with just a body in this slot.
What else do you want? You wanted it to be retreat instead, which is just 1 mana,
Or,
no power.
yeah, it could be retreat, or it could just be another body. It could be anything in the blue-yellow catalog. I just want to look. I think this is definitely in my deck somewhere, like in the side. Like, for example, against non-green decks, where it's not getting defied, I think this card is way better. I need to use the restroom, but if you need to head out, I understand. We can test this matchup more, though. Maybe there's something you learned. I learned that it's really fucking scary to attack fucking Ari. Even with Victor's attacking bonuses.
Yeah. Alright, guys. It's just us now. I think that was rough. Losing the girls was rough. Progress day drawing into more progress days was annoying. Didn't have enough cantrips. Maybe with the Jewel Colossus I dropped back down to 2 progress day. Fox would have been good. I like the early game, guys. Anyway. That's going to do it for me. Thanks for coming out. I appreciate it. Tomorrow we will be building Darius Hook aggro. So if you want to see that, you'll be able to see it. That is how Viktor is played on that side. Since we built it, you kind of saw how it worked in the early game. They had control, mid game's good, and then just bomb after bomb after bomb with all the bodies. It makes it really difficult to either hold the battlefield or come back or fight into stuff. It's a very brutal game plan, very efficient, very consistent. So, anyway, Darius Hook aggro tomorrow. I'll show him the better deck. I guess, even though Victor's not really an aggro deck, Darius is and does practically the same stuff, so we'll see how that goes tomorrow. Anyway, thank you guys for coming out. Appreciate it. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.